beast, Rosie Paulsen.
Have you ever felt that you were born in the wrong place? That everything around you just doesn't feel right? A lot of people go through life thinking that is the way it is, and there is nothing you can do about it. But then there is what Steve Jobs quotes: the people crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. When I was a little girl growing up in Ecuador, there were boys' sports for boys and girls' sports were for girls. My father started coaching a soccer team, and he immediately recruited my sister as an offense player and me as a goalie. Now, I love being a goalie, and what my father did was match my skills and my passion with that position. It was brilliant. However, he was frowned upon for what he did. Why? Because soccer was not a lady-like sport. Soccer was a boy sport. One day, I got to the soccer field and I was a little confused because all these boys were playing with this young girl, a niña, because she was an American. But I had to argue and negotiate my way, which, by the way, I think my leadership skills started right there because I had to have all these compelling arguments to make it in the team, especially as a goalie, because as a coveted position, goalie was what everybody wanted to be. But they were all playing with her because she was an American, but to me, they gave me a hard time because of my gender. So I started wondering, what is an American? I befriended her because I became very inquisitive, and as you can tell, I'm very friendly. And I find out that she was a missionary from this country named the United States. And in her country, women can play any sports they want. Did I mention there were missionaries from the United States? All right. So I realized then that I had the solution. So I ran back home and I asked my mother. I told my mother, finally, Mom, I know how I will be able to play soccer with no restrictions. And she goes, Mija, how? That's it. We all have to move to America and we need to meet this guy named Jesus. And we will be okay, Mom, we will be okay. Eventually, the boys accepted my sister and I. We created a team of boys and girls. We all embraced that feeling of winning, and we won many, many, many games. We all understood and embraced that we can achieve more than we thought that we can achieve. I love that feeling of community we have there. Most of all, I learned that in order to succeed, you have to stick and continue to do something, even if it's difficult. I call that ñeque. Now say it with me. Ñeque. Ñeque. Now, ñeque is a Quechua word that means grit, resilience. Something that it's born within you. And that's what you use and you go back to when fear sets and stops you from continuing to do it. Ñeque was also what determined for me to heavily influencing my parents to move to America 33 years ago. And ñeque was also what helped me understand that I needed to learn this big world that I call the Medicare beast. Why? Because it was such a complicated. At age 33, I decided to have my license, and I read that book from cover to cover. In case you don't know, I'm an overachiever, and I have to get things done. Now, this book has rules and regulations, and it has all these pages. And there was this quote in page 6, and you have that same quote in page 33, but then it contradicts it. So I read page 6 again, and then I read page 33 again, and it was the same thing. So I figure, if a beautiful, sharp young woman understands that, and I was confused, can you imagine a seasoned, ordinary person in the perhaps 70s and 80s having to select that plan? I realized then that I can make a difference by simplifying the healthcare solutions for the Medicare recipients. Now, have you ever heard the word Medicare? Some of you said, oh, that makes me old. Some of you said, I can't wait until I get Medicare because I can finally get health insurance, right? But most people don't even know what Medicare are. Now, have any of you visited the Medicare site? Let's not even go there. There are different dates, there are different parts. There are Medicare Advantage plans, there are Medicare supplemental plans, there are Medicare Part D plans. It's so confusing and so overwhelming that the site has its own glossary. No wonder people get so confused by trying to pick a plan. Now, I realize that I can make a difference in this community because I quickly found out that my purpose was that, simplifying the healthcare solutions for Medicare recipients. So I started living my purpose in 2009 when I started my first entrepreneurial venture. My wonderful husband Scott supported me to open my own Medicare brokerage firm. Now, when you get certified for Medicare, you have to do it every year because plans change from year to year. The first time I walked into that room, it was a room full of gentlemen. Now, I felt a little bit out of place. Who in the audience have been to a place, you walk into a room and you go, oh my, I'm in the wrong place. That was me. I felt that it was because I was a woman, because I was the only person from another country. Everybody's first language was English, but me. And I felt everyone was looking at me. And so I thought, the reality was that it was all in my head, and it was my fear of rejection that was preventing me from doing that. Now, most of us at that moment will walk away and will never look back, right? But see, then what happens? That guiltiness sets in with the shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know, we want something so bad, but you worry about what people has to say. It became like the soccer field all over again. The only difference now is that there were adult men in suit. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do this because somebody needs me. And I'm going to change my community by doing this. That gave me the courage to just walk into that room and start doing what I do today. And I live my American dream every single day with this. Now, owning a business is a very difficult task. Abraham Lincoln says, the best way to predict your future is to create it. The best way to predict your future is to create it. See, this field of going, or this passion of going out there and helping people has brought me to so many opportunities that has allowed me to change my community. Heroes are born heroes are born by adversity. In 1988, my family and I, with a lot of efforts, we immigrated to this country. the United States. We all are assets to society. My parents right here, they're retired teachers. My brother is an engineer. My sister works for a dental's office. And I have built not one, not two, but 3 thriving, successful, and profitable businesses. See, in America, regardless of where you're coming from, your gender, regardless of your religion, beliefs, or who you are, you can make it in America because that is the American dream. See, clarity gives you power. And I embrace the American values every single day of life, liberty. Oh, that was my family, by the way. So I embrace my American family, So I embrace my American values of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. My happiness is helping people with their Medicare options. And your job is to prepare for a secure future. But mine is to tame that Medicare beast. I am Rosie Paulsen. I am your Medicare matchmaker. Stay pure, stay positive, and stay inspired.